the size that it is.
I so love the fact that we started with Carrie Ann asking how do I make this work.
I love her lifestyles of the rich and famous background. This is nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, sorry to interrupt your socialite schedule, Carrie Ann.
Oh yeah, right. Very busy in Corona times.
Okay. So here we are doing our thing. Welcome to NPC chat, which is no personal contact streaming. This is just designed to get people together, say hi, talk about how things are going, bitch about the coronavirus, and then generally just have fun, play trivia games and all of that, right? So I've got today's theme is all about Star Trek for just a random idea. Why not? And I have 3 guests today on the show, such as it is. So say hi, everybody. We're going to kind of go Brady Bunch, and I don't know if it looks the same on everybody's screen, but let's say hi to Claude Dozier, who is in Italy. Claude, tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to Star Trek.
My God. Now it's complex. Now we have the military outside. All is okay. You can move. You can. Now we have the red zone in different area. Is very complex. The increase. But no problem. We have the possibility to help people, old people, because I have some friends go around to help people because can go out because it's very old, and we go to the supermarket to help these people, and we buy and we put all the bags outside and we go because
wow,
it's problem. It's a problem.
You're helping in Italy. In Italy, it's really difficult right now. Which part of Italy are you in?
I are in the middle on the Italy. Is the same level of Rome, but on the Adriatic Sea. Okay. We are on the beach.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We are in front of ex-Yugoslavia. We are in the center. The close airport is Pescara. Is about 50 kilometers of on north of Vasto. Is this city where I live. Now the coronavirus is not very inside in this. It is important, but not very easy. The problem is the north, Lombardia, Piemonte, Emilia Romagna is a big problem, really big problem. Now the country are not move very fast, and now we have a lot of problem. We sleep. But I think all Europe and all the world sleep for 2 months, and now we are in this situation. But all the people now, we have internet, we contact people that, now if you need something, tell me, we take the car, we go to help old people. We can just do that, but it's okay. We are okay, but this morning I watched the information just 2 minutes because I won't depress myself because every day is bad. Just 10,000 people died.
Wow.
And this will be increased, I think 40,000 where we arrive and on end of April. If this every day, it's terrible. But I think the same in Spain, the same in my province in France and UK, you will have a lot of problem. And now we arrive in United States. But the people not be depressed. We must move because the problem is just here. Now, if the problem in Italy is every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we have information about coronavirus. If you do that, it's normal to inform, but you depress people. I refuse myself to what that. Just the morning, I take my phone, I just write what is happened and stop. And after I work, I training myself, I help people. This is what I do.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that people are really afraid of what they don't know, for one thing. That's a big problem for everybody, right? Is that we don't know, so we're afraid of that. And, you know, that's a bit worrying. But I also think that we're all in this together. And one thing that's a positive of all of this is that what we do here on this stream and just what I've been doing lately is connecting to people in a way, you know, that we haven't been doing lately. We're connecting again, and that's not a bad thing, right? Like, we're talking to each other, and I know it's an awful time, but there's also some positives, you know, like, you know.
I just want to say that I called my mother last time because my mother is alone in her apartment in the city, 87 years old. I call her that, ma'am, are you okay? Sure, I am okay. And you? Yes, but you are sure that what I can have, I just can die.
Yeah.
Stop. This is my mother.
My mom, I've said this on a couple of other streams. So my mom was a very little girl in the Blitz in London, and my grandparents were bombed. And so every day they lived in a situation where they could just be sitting there and all of a sudden they could die. And they did this every day. And they would have a little shelter, and it was a piece of iron in the backyard. And you'd fold the two pieces of corrugated iron like this. It was called an Anderson shelter. And you would, it was crazy. You could just go out there and sit in the Anderson shelter and protect yourself. But people were terrified all the time. But after a while, they realized, hey, life goes on, right? So, so let's do this, because this is a great way of sort of introducing everybody, right? Claude, we're gonna kind of mess with you first, right? Because why not, right? So what we do is we like to sort of show everybody a little bit about our guests on this, and I am going to show a photo here. So these are photos that you love. Photos of yourself. Tell me about this photo. When's this taken?
Oh, this was in Italy in 1985, long time ago. I work in fashion because when I arrived in Italy, I have a good look. I remember, and some. No, I am old. I'm sorry.
Still looking good, Claude. Still looking good.
I have a good fridge. Every night I go into the fridge to maintain I work in the fashion in Rome and Milano because I am 6 feet. I think is 1.82 m. I can participate in some défilé, but for the picture I was okay. The height was okay. And I work for fashion, for catalogs, dress, and this was one picture. I love this because this is my character. Oh, yes. Okay,
so you sent me this picture as well. So this is a picture that you love, which is great. You chose this one. So tell us about this.
Yes, because is one part of my work, because it's very. I explained before, I am an export manager now, a strategy consultant. I have some passion as custom design and martial art and other things. And I start my research about 10 years to recreate original costume of Star Trek TOS. And after a lot of research with collectors and around the world, I recreate the copy of an original. And this is the reason why Alec Peters contacted me, because he came in Italy. He went in Italy 2 years ago, and we worked together with Angela Avino, another friend of me, to work together to make the costume for Axanar. And this was a great project. Carrie, you create me a lot of problem.
Oh no, why?
Oh, yes, because when we make the sides, we make an M, but the problem of Carrie have an S. SX was a big problem. and after, no, was great, and I am very happy.
They were comfortable and they fit really well and they were easily altered. They were perfect.
was you know, we recreate this costume because it was very important for us, because we transformed completely, because the problem that the cage, the original pilot, the costume was 50 years old, and we must recreate a new look, a modern look for the woman, for the man. And we start for the collar with Angela Avino. We work together to recreate these costumes, and this is the result for the woman and for the man. Oh,
all right. And then this one, kids, we love these. These we get kid pictures in this. So, how old are you there?
yes. Honestly, this picture not exist, because my father died when I was 8 months.
Oh, really?
Yes, and my brother was 2 years old, and I never know him, because we were so young. And a friend make me a mix of picture, because this was my desire into my head to be close. I'm my father, because I never this have. Or every week I went with my mother and my brother to the cemetery, because it was a bad thing for me for 20 years. And my mother was so depressed. And this friend, after sometimes I speak with him, and he create this picture for me, just a gift.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's really good. Like, and whenever that picture was taken of your dad, he was rocking that wing collar. That's a rocking picture. All right, so there's Claude. Hang on a minute, we lost Jamie. Jamie's back again. There you go. Jamie just going out. All right. So what we're going to do is we will sort of go through and say hi to everybody and sort of meet everyone. So Jamie, let's get to you. Your connection to Star Trek. Let's talk about that, and let's talk about your family and you and your photos. So,
so first of all, I was involved with Axanar, and I played Chief Engineer Leonov, and I got to work with Paul and hang out with Carrie Ann, and I got to wear Claude's creations, and it was absolutely an incredible experience. And I've been a Star Trek fan my whole life, so to be involved in the project was pretty amazing, and kind of a dream come true. So I'm excited to see the finished product. We've seen little bits and pieces, and it looks amazing. And it was an honor for me. So I'm really pumped up. This picture is I want to say it's probably 4 years old, maybe 3 years old. We were down in Disney, and we went to this was Universal, because we went to the Harry Potter, and that was, I think, day 4 of doing all the parks. And you can tell on my wife and my face that it was a time.
Yeah, because I've been to Disney with my kids, and what cracks me up is that I can't deal with it. I like the light show and stuff, but I could care less about it. But what they wanted to do was all the stuff that was actually really cool. Like, they wanted to do the treasure hunt, and we would just walk around. They didn't care
nice.
rides, you know?
I've never been to Disney somehow.
Really? It's amazing.
Somebody needs to sponsor a trip to Disney for me.
Okay, we're all going to Disney when this is over, right? We're all coming. Claude, we're flying you over. We're all going to Disney. There you go.
Okay. I love that.
All right, so who's in this one, Jamie?
Okay, so this is my grandfather, my grandmother, and my mother. And I've kind of been in a family spot today. My grandmother passed away probably about a year and a half ago, and we actually lost my grandfather this morning at about 6:30.
Oh, man.
He had Alzheimer's, and he was kind of late stages, so we were kind of anticipating it. And I got to say goodbye a while ago, but it's been hard on my mom, because obviously with this isolation, she couldn't go see him. But he was a really instrumental figure in my life for a number of reasons. Number one, he just loved his wife. And he used to say, I need to go home and be with my bride. I need to go see my bride, whenever he was away from her for more than 30 minutes. And so this picture was really cool because I got to take my mom and my grandmother and my grandfather out for ice cream. They live in Maine, so I flew up to Maine and hung out with them for about a week on my own, and it was a really, really nice memory. And I just I wanted to include that. And my little picture that I'm sure you're going to pull up has him in it as well, and that's kind of why I was thinking.
All right, so let's take a look. Here we go.
Yeah. So here's my favorite thing about this. There's two really cool things. Number one, my grandfather is in it. He's dressed to the nines for Christmas morning, full suit and tie, which I love. And then most importantly, it's my Steve Austin doll, my $6 million man doll that I got for Christmas. And he had a little bionic eye that you could look through, and it was like a telescopic thing.
Yeah, he did. Eagle eyes and gripping hands.
Yeah, he had his little gripping hands. That was, I want to say that was 1977-ish.
Okay.
Right around there, judging by my velour tracksuit that I'm wearing.
All right. Now, can you tell me, Steve Austin, can you recite the opening of The $6 Million Man, my friend?
Just bits and pieces of it. We have the technology. We can rebuild him.
Steve Austin, a man barely alive. We have the technology to make him. I mean, seriously, that was like the greatest thing ever. That show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy times, right? Like we put this on this because this is happy times. So this is a great connection to your granddad. Which I love, and I think it's really important that we all sort of like acknowledge the people that we're around and even just remember it. And that's kind of where I'm going is I love just like seeing everybody's life and family. So I think, and then this one, are you wearing a kilt there, by the way, mate?
Absolutely. This is the top of Haleakala on my honeymoon to my wife. We got married in Hawaii, and we spent a week in Maui and a week on the Big Island. And Haleakala is on Maui. And so we climbed to the top of it, and it's traditional to take a picture up there. And it was just so gorgeous. I mean, you can see you're above the clouds. I think Haleakala is 9,000 feet. I don't think it's terribly too high, but it was just amazing. So, I love this picture. It's one of my favorites. Yeah. And I've been wearing my kilt nonstop around the house during Corona times.
Why would you not?
Exactly.
All right, Carrie Ann. Let's get to you. Wait a minute, we're getting somewhere. Wait a minute, we're sort of running through pictures all the wrong way. Okay, here we go. So here's Carrie Ann. So first of all, Carrie Ann, as we get into all of this, you're an actress. You and I've known each other a while. You came into the Star Trek, but tell everyone about how little you know about Star Trek, because we're going to mess with you in a little bit, by the way. We're going to mess with you.
My favorite. Well, as you can see, there's a castle background behind me. There's also castle-esque behind us in that picture. I have a company called Fairy Path Productions. We've got a high fantasy adventure in development, and that I love this picture because it's our like OG crew. I guess I don't know which way they're looking at the screen, but the girl in the flannel with the orange hair, that's Brittany. She does hair and makeup and she's awesome. Green shirt is Russell. He's my production partner. Blue hair is Lorinda. She was kind of like did everything possible and was really awesome. And then that's Sunny, our DP, who's kind of giving that awesome pose there at the end. And we had just spent a whole day guerrilla shooting some promo stuff down at Soap Creek, which was a lot of fun. I think we got some yoga bros to take that picture for us. They were taking some kind of picture, and like Sunny got a hat gifted to him, and they took a picture for us. So it was just a really fun day. And
nice. And these are all happy photos of us. What are you doing in this photo?
I'm painting a glass. Those are some people that I'm also an acting coach, and those are some people from one of the studios where I work. I've been with them at that studio for about 5 years, so we're all like family. I came to that studio right after my hiatus, after my mother died, so they really did become like a family for me, and that was just a fun night that we had doing an activity. And I have a bad habit of not relaxing and doing things just for fun.
Yeah.
So this is a good example of like I just had a rocking good time, like painting this silly, like a dandelion on this silly glass.
We all have that bad habit, by the way, which I'm changing as well, because I never relax. I'm always doing something. But we're changing it right now because we're all sitting around relaxing and actually just chatting about life, which is really nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So BFF forever. Is this your best friend?
Oh, that is my best friend. That's Amy. And that was her wedding day.
Great.
It was her wedding day, and it was also her son, who's my honorary nephew, Noah. It was his first birthday. It was a surprise wedding. Everybody thought it was Noah's first birthday party, but it was really a wedding also. And I helped put all that together with her sister. And Amy had been through a lot, and she really deserved that happily ever after, and fought hard for it. And it was really special to be there with her. She lives in North Carolina.
All right, what's going on here? This is presumably a FairyCon?
Yeah, that's FairyCon.
Right.
So I go to FairyCon because, I love it. And also because it's exactly my fan base of all the other people who love all the stuff that I'm doing. And that's Billy Scudder. He's an amazing, just incredible performer. That's his Green Man character.
Yeah, he's jacking the green right there.
Yeah, and they wander around. There's a whole troop of green men that wander around, and they have staffs and bells, and they do a chant, and they just wander through the halls, and they'll stop and bless you with an acorn. It's pretty.
Keep talking.
Yeah, and he has a squeaker in his mouth, so he doesn't actually talk as this character, but he'll squeak at you, and it's really, really charming. I think, he's just one of the most charming, loving, light-filled people I know. So that photo, we joked, we were like, look, yeah, there's a green man.
So I being from the British countryside and growing up with all of this is literally my talisman, Green Man.
So that's us. So that was one of the days of FairyCon, and I'm wearing a fairy talisman. Actually, that blue necklace is really special to me as well. Wendy Froud's best friend. Wendy was on one of the concept artists and builders for Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, and her best friend Guy made that necklace, and so I love that. But yeah, it was a very happy photo, and I like looking at it.
All right, let's go right into that. This is great.
So my hair stuck, according to my my parents, my hair stuck straight up all by itself like that for 2 years, and people would be like, "Oh, cool, you have a punk rock baby. You styled her hair like that." And they were like, "No, she just came this way."
But the Winnie the Pooh is so unbelievably adorable. I
still have him.
Excellent. Yeah, I got. Wow, that's brilliant. And then this one with you and your mom, I guess, right?
Yeah, and I love that picture because that's gonna make me cry. I love that picture because of how happy she is.
Yeah.
In the picture, and that was a happy time in her life, and it's nice for me to have those early pictures of her when she was really happy, and I think I look just ridiculously overjoyed to be at the beach and still react that way at the beach. So yeah, it's on my refrigerator. That's one of my favorites.
Well, that's really good. I noted that for all of us, right? I know that your mum's passed. Jamie, I guess you just lost was it your grandfather today? Your grandmother? Your grandfather?
My grandfather.
Today. Yeah, your grandfather. Claude, you were telling me recently you lost your brother. So yes. It's so strange. And for me, we were working on Axanar, and it was a bit of a rough time when we were shooting. I lost my dad. Wow. And so I lost him actually only a couple of days after we finished shooting. And I knew all the way through the shoot that I was going to lose him. But when I went to Great Britain to see him just before we did the shoot, I got the chance to, because it's very strange where you live in a different country and then you travel to go see someone, you kind of know when you leave, when you're walking out the door, that you won't see them again. Yeah. And it's a very strange moment because you're kind of saying goodbye even though they're not gone. And so on the way out, I got a picture of me sitting on my dad's lap.
That's great.
And my dad is
thrilled.
Yeah, my dad's pretty funny, right? He was sort of like he didn't care. He's like chatting with me. I got all of these photos, and I had a very strange situation. I got all of these photos, and I talked to my dad, and I recorded talking to him. I wanted to just ask him a few questions and just talk about life and how he was feeling. He had really bad problem with breathing. His lungs had died. He had fallen over, and he'd like killed both of his lungs. So he was losing it. And when this was all happening, I got to chat, and then when I got back, I transferred all of these films and all of this stuff, and for some reason it was all lost. Like everything was gone. Every recording I made of him.
Oh no.
And so I was really devastated because it was my chance to kind of remember my dad and chat with him. And then suddenly, I kid you not, like maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I suddenly found them all. I don't know how they showed up.
Wow.
I knew I'd done the transfer, but I found them all in this thing. I was like so relieved that I got a chance to keep them. So there's me sitting on my dad's lap, which is kind of an unusual and a cool thing because my dad left when I was a really little kid. And so I didn't really know him. It was kind of a different kind of thing. And then the paths all converged, so that got back to him. So we've all been through this thing with families, and we all kind of share this difficulty. But that's the sad part, right? So before we get into, we're going to get into some fun stuff. Yeah, Claude.
Yes, I just want to close about, if I have just 2-3 minutes to explain something about my brother. My brother was an encyclopedia, I say, of movies and TV series. Into the house was a DVD turbo. When my family called me on the 24th of December of last year and called me that your brother go to the hospital, he's have a problem. Okay. After, on the 31st of December, he called me again. My mother, your brother have cancer. What I can do? Nothing. Wait. After 3 days, another call. You have 7 days. Your brother is died. He's terrible cancer. 2 weeks. Is a very rare cancer. If you are lucky, 3 months. If you are not lucky, 2 weeks. He was not lucky. I take the flight. I arrive on 5:00 p.m. I go directly to the hospital. He have a respirator because he had the problem of the lamp. He just watched me and that, brother, don't worry, I am here forever. And he can answer me because he have no the possibility to give me an answer. And they just close your eyes if you understand me. That yes, he understand me. After 2 days, the hospital gives some medicine to sleep because he have not the possibility. He suffered too much. And after 7 days, he died. For me, it was terrible because I must be strong for my mother, for the wife of my brother, for the children's. But the problem was alone, and I must be strong for all, but nobody can help me. This was a problem. After that, my girlfriend arrived 1 day after, and it's very strange because I just want to say that my brother was a man to make a lot of surprise, was a joker, and I go out after 1 day outside. I go to the city to walk with my girlfriend just to explain you, last year I was with my brother here, I was with my brother here. And after, in the end, we arrived closer, and the Cathedral of Strasbourg is this my city. And my brother loved this place. And I don't know what has happened. She walked with me very close, and we arrived in a wall with puppets, very small. And you must know that my brother had a surname, Teddy Bear, okay? And the name of my brother was Paul. And we arrived, and was a lot of puppets, 100 puppets, with the costume, traditional costume of the city. And my girlfriend was very sensible that take a puppet. Okay. I take one. No, this one. Why? I don't know. No, this one. I take another one. But I discovered just that, look this puppet. What has happened? What have this puppet? All the puppet have a name? I know. I never know. Look the name, Paul.
Oh, really?
But I say no. It's just we are just lucky. We take every 300 puppets. We never find Paul. Just
Wow.
this one. My brother kicked my ass another time.
By the way, Claude, I have to say this. My favorite part of this is you must say puppet again, because listening to you say puppet, my favorite thing in the world, right?
I'm sorry.
I have a puppet. Great. Well, look,
Sorry.
we are
for my
here.
English.
Everybody knows each other now, which is great. So for a bit, Carrie Ann, play along.
Can I just give you? Can you just ask me questions? And I'll just make up the answers, because I don't. This is my terrible secret. I really don't know a whole lot about Star Trek. Paul brought me.
I'm so excited for
I
this.
know. No. Well, in Axanar, I play Korak in Axanar, who's a shapeshifter and a spy. And Paul texted me, said, "Listen, I know you're really into fairy stuff, but I think you'll get this. She's a shapeshifter." And I got super excited because I've been wanting to do some sci-fi type stuff and things like that. So it's actually really fun. But everybody likes to make fun of me because I know like nothing.
Yeah, Marianne, to put you at ease, and it's a story I've told before, but I'll tell it one quickly. I don't know anything about comics, right? I know people think I should, right?
That blows my mind. Blows my mind.
They actually associate me with comics all the time. I could care less about comics. I care about story. And so I'm really well known for doing comics. And, you know, when I did The Inhumans, which is a book that I did for Marvel, when they were in Chapter 11 bankruptcy, they gave me The Inhumans, and they called me up and said, you know, do you want to work with Marvel? Because we're broken. And I said, yeah, okay, why not? And they said, well, how about we let you do The Inhumans? And I said, sure, who are they?
Yeah.
And they sent me 2 5-page stories, and I wrote a 12-issue maxi series and won them an Eisner Award. So you don't need to know something.
So I can have an Academy Award even if I don't know anything about Star Trek. Is that the moral of this? Yeah,
because you don't need to know it. You need to know how to do what you do.
Yeah.
Right. But we're still going to mess with you, so don't worry. We're gonna mess with Carrie Ann. Everybody gets to play this in a little while. But before we do this, I'd love to talk to you guys about Axanar and about what we've been doing. We'd love to get you a little bit of a conversation about another project that we're doing called Warped, which Jamie, you're in, but you're not in at the moment. We couldn't get you in, but you are our chief engineer, just so you know. You've been transferred to our ship.
Awesome. I
figured you know this. You're about to find this out. So let me sort of like talk a little bit about Axanar and Star Trek and what we've been working on. First of all, Claude, you made the costumes for a lot of this stuff. So how did this come about for you? And tell me about what you know about Star Trek. You know, I know that you're in the fashion business. I know that you're in the, you know, costuming business. So tell me how you connected all this stuff and how you became involved.
Look, the first time I watched it with my brother, Star Trek, was in the 1972 from Germany, because my city is very close. Strasbourg is northeast of France. It's 2 kilometers of Germany. And we watched it all the weekends. The name was from German channel Raumschiff Enterprise. This was the German channel. And I growing with TOS. Step by step, I participate in different convention and meeting from Star Trek, and I was very interested about the stories, the universe, and the costume. After that, I decided to 15 years ago to decide to make these costumes of TOS, but I was not interested to make cosplay. I respect the cosplay, but my research was completely different. I just want to recreate original costumes. And this was the start of the work. And the problem was that, okay, I must find picture, video, information, all information to recreate, but I am not a starter. I need an expert for recreation costumes. And after a lot of research, I find the Golden Hands. What I'd explain is Angela Avino is an incredible woman because she worked for a museum of France or in Germany for recreation of all military costumes, uniforms. And I asked her, "Oh, are you interested to make customs with me?"
Hey there.
And that say, "Okay." And this was the start. And I love Star Trek. Not all the movies, not all the series. I love the TOS for the knife aspect. Very simple, very manichaeist. You have a good man, you have a bad man. It's very simple. But honestly, I have my experience. I prefer the original pilot of The Cage. I start for this episode because the introspective actor of Captain Pike, Jeffrey Hunter, the approach, I love it. Now all the movies work for introspective. The last series with Picard is very introspective. This approach in 1964 was very interesting. And the problem that the people was not ready to understand this approach. The production was not ready because needing on the 60s a hero, very strong man, very Superman into Star Trek. Roddenberry have another approach, the fragility, the doubt, and I prefer this approach. This is the reason why I think that this pilot today was very, very interesting and has very, very deeper. And this is the approach that I want to watch into Star Trek, because Star Trek is hope, is love.
Yeah.
And this is what I love in Star Trek. Okay, maybe I am naive. Okay, I am naive, but I love this. I love this approach. I love the deeper aspect of the character in Star Trek.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. And, these costumes are incredible. The stuff that you've made is really cool. We had a privilege to work with it. Jamie, you're more of a Star Trek aficionado, I think. So, tell us a little bit about that.
I grew up watching it. My mother is a huge fan. We literally used to watch it together as a family. Next Generation, which then turned me on to the original series, obviously. And then I was a big fan of the movies. My favorite was the Voyage Home. Big into saving the whales, so I really enjoyed that. And I loved seeing the juxtaposition of Scott sitting in modern day San Francisco trying to figure out how to use a computer. I just thought that was fantastic. It was really it was a good play for those characters.
Yeah.
But I love the mythology behind it, and I got to agree with Claude. Star Trek gives a message of there's good things on the horizon. There's good things to exploration, and not everything is exploiting what we discover. It's becoming kind of a synthesis of what we can bring to another society. And it's just, to me, it was really hopeful. And that's the trend that Star Trek kind of gave me too.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, Star Trek is such an interesting, there's our Afrosian. We're in Claude's stuff. Star Trek is such an interesting project. It is very much about connection. It's very much about acceptance. It's about, I personally thought it was very much about post-war, the post-Second World War world, because of Gene Roddenberry's experiences, and how do we assimilate people, and how do we get past this tribalism and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's kind of like a shining beacon sometimes, which is true of a lot of entertainment. It's the beacon that kind of gives us an ideal, even if we don't live up to it, which, right now people are just miles away from it at times. But we love to see it. And so as far as our production goes, by the way, because this was fun, right? We had a fun time. We did a bunch. Go ahead, Jamie. Yeah.
So I don't remember if I told you this, but if you go back to the Afrosian, Vince Canlis, who plays your Afrosian, has the best Christopher Walken imitation you will ever hear. There is no one that does a better Christopher Walken than Vince Camless.
Brilliant.
And I gotta see him do it in full Efrosion gear.
Oh, that would be incredible. Like,
oh yeah,
an Efrosion doing a thing of Christopher Walken would be brilliant.
Next time you see him, you got to get it from him.
We'll definitely get that. But we had fun. You know, this is something. There you go. That's yeah. We'll get to this in a minute. Our other production that we'll talk about. So Carrie Ann, let's kind of extrapolate for a minute. I'll kind of preface it by saying that we had we just realized, wow, the bridge is great, and we were really grateful to Alec for letting us work on it. It's a really cool situation, and since we were working on Star Trek Axanar, we thought, why don't we take advantage of the bridge and film a comedy, right? Comedy is basically about the worst ship in Starfleet, and this is the captain. Captain Plackett from South London, because my idea was, what if you had a South Londoner in charge of a ship? It would be a shit show. It would be the worst ship in the fleet, right? Note the carefully placed Captain Kirk girdle, which was one of my favorite jokes, was that the girdle would always, whatever he was wearing, would always show through really badly. Sorry, Claude, because I know you spent all this time on these perfect costumes, and we basically made a joke out of the fact that Kirk, you know, when William Shatner got a little chunkier, he had these girdles on, and so ours would poke out, like his girdle will poke out, and my cat's biting me now. So we had a ton of fun with this project. Carrie Ann, why don't you tell us a little bit about like the madness of that day?
Oh, of shooting on Warped?
Yeah, on Warped, yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It was fun.
Well, the point was that we felt like a lot of people finished that day, and it was right when we all went into quarantine. So next day, nobody.
Yeah, it was kind of a special thing and a weird thing to be like, this is probably the last time we're going to be on set for a while. Probably the last time we're going to get to play for a while. So I think everybody really took full advantage of that, and it was fun to go be, you know, I played Corax again, but like a way different version of Corax. And Claude, I'm sorry. I don't know if you have a picture of anything, Paul, but Claude, I'm sorry.
I do have a picture. This is a recurring theme. So Jenna Cannell, who's a great actor, she's brilliant, and she plays a character called Krav. And Krav is actually mine and Scott Conley's nickname for Jenna, because she does Krav Maga. And so we call her Krav, right? All right, Krav, what's going on? And so every time that we are around together, she ends up sitting in the chair and putting her legs up on my shoulder. I've got a few of these photos from different times. There's a couple of our characters. There's Krav and Zaxby. Zaxby's the ship flirt, I think you could say. There's our AD, Tim. I'm going to find one. So Jenna and Tasha, these guys are great characters. But here you go. Here we go. Carrie Ann. This is Carrie Ann as Corax. And Corax kind of changed a little bit from the version that we had elsewhere. So tell us about what she was like in this one, Carrie Ann.
Okay, well, first let me tell you what she's like briefly what she's like in like serious Axanar, so that you'll get this. So Corax in her true iteration in Atarax. Oh my gosh, Axanar. Sounds like a drug, Atarax. Wait a minute. Never mind. I haven't had a whole lot of sleep, you guys. Anyway, she's very reserved. She's very still. You know, she's a spy, so she doesn't give up a lot of information, things like that, right? And she's in a relationship with Garth. So in Warped, Garth and Corax come to, I guess, like check out the ship, and it's just a total shit show. And this version of Corax is bored and flirts with anything that walks or doesn't. There's a brick. She flirts with a brick.
There is a brick.
Yeah. So and poor Zaxby. Zaxby gets sort of the brunt of it, which is really funny, and she's kind of trailing behind Garth, so he doesn't see any of this as it's happening, which is also funny.
By the way, I've been working recently on editing and just kind of cutting it up. And so one of the things you got to understand, this is very much an Axanar inside joke. So here's my Axanar shirt that I'm wearing today that my cat is covering in cat hair. So, because he just sits with me when we do these things. He just basically sits on my lap the whole time. So when I've been cutting them up, I realized we were making fun a little bit of Axanar because it was a bunch of interviews, just like Axanar is. You know, there's lots of interviews, and so you talk to the people who were at the Battle of Axanar. But ours is much more like The Office, right? So you're interviewing these people, and they all suck. And one of my favorite bits, and I forgot that we did this, is we have a shapeshifter, another one like you, Carrie-Anne, and he's a brick. We realized we couldn't afford 2 aliens. We couldn't afford the prosthetics. So he's basically a shape changer in the shape of a brick. At one point, I didn't realize this, I forgot. The crew put him on a chair, and not only did they interview the brick, but there's like literally 2 minutes of them miking the brick up. So they're miking up the brick, and then they do the interview, which is my favorite thing ever. So we're bringing all of this. We will see all of this at some point. We'll see Warped. But we're also having a ton of fun with Axanar. I mean, it looks great. All of our people have been incredible working with, you know. One thing that was really fun for us with Warped was that we got Alec, who plays Captain Garth. And at this point, we brought him in as Admiral Garth. And we just messed with Alec, right? And he was totally good sport about it. He didn't care. He just like joining in and being part of the fun. So I like the family that we're finding as well. I really enjoy meeting a lot of the people that are into Star Trek, because people who like Star Trek are very aspirational, don't you think? Right. Yes.
Just something, Paul. I sent you an email because last time I watch, and you are finding a name for the ship for the comic.
Name, yes.
I send you something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is good for you.
We needed the name. By the way, if anyone watched it, we needed the name of the worst ship in the fleet. We want to say no politics because it's not. It's
no. I send you the name of the ship.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I will look out for that. Carrie-Anne's come up with a couple. Jamie, you're welcome if you want to.
I'm in.
We need the
prize.
Huh?
Is there a prize?
Yes, there's a prize. Fuck all, right? So
yeah.
Just the way that we play
bucket of pride.
It's all pride. Just the way that we play our trivia games. That's the prize. So speaking of trivia games, well done.
What a segue.
Beautiful segue. I love it. Amazing call right there. We are going to play a trivia game with everybody to just get everyone to relax, right?
Hollywood Squares.
It's like Hollywood Squares.
Ah.
And the way that this works is...
Am I Paul Lind?
Yeah, no, you're Jim... What's that guy? Jim Cooter or someone, the guy that was...
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
He was on it every week, right? But who knows who he is?
I think I want to be Charles Nelson Riley.
Okay, so you be Charles Nelson Riley. Okay, so here's how we play this game. This game begins with Carrie-Anne.
No, of course it does.
Of course it does. And the reason it begins with Carrie-Anne is it's a game and it's called Star Trek or Star Wars.
Oh, God. Okay.
So all you have to do, right, is to tell me to begin if this is a character from Star Trek or if it's a character from Star Wars.
Okay.
Once we get past that, right, then we go to Jamie, and because Carrie-Anne knows nothing about Star Trek, it's brilliant.
I love it.
Or presumably Star Wars. Then we move on to additional questions. I'll throw them alternately to Claude and Jamie about that character and or something related. And then finally, we have a non sequitur question, which goes to the other player, right? So you'll get the hang of it. You'll find out in a second. Let me see.
At home can take a drink every time I answer wrong.
I think the chances of you answering correctly are pretty slim, I gotta say.
I don't know, Paul. I'm partially psychic. Let's do it.
I'm telling you right now. Okay, so once you've answered one question, you'll get this, right? Let me bring up.
To be fair, one day we have to play fantasy trivia because I would kick everybody's butt.
That's right. We'll play fairy trivia.
Yeah.
All right. So Here we go.
What?
Carry on.
Yes.
Is this a scene from Star Trek or is it a scene from Star Wars?
Oh, Star Trek.
All right. Okay, so 1 point to Carry On. By the way, it's a one fuck all point. You get nothing, right? So, do you know the name of this ship?
Who, me?
Yes. Do you know who these characters would be flying this ship around?
Spock.
Spock. Well done. Yes.
Am I right?
Not even close.
It's beautiful.
Sure.
Your lack of knowledge about Star Trek.
Captain Kirk.
Nope.
A tribble.
It's not a tribble.
Nope.
By the way, I
do like the triples.
If you recall, this tribble
Correct.
in New York, his name is Jerry. It's Jerry the Tribble.
Ah,
All right. So
It's a Borg cube. What the heck is a Borg cube? What?
Borg cube. It's a
Oh.
Borg cube. Now then.
Okay.
hey, they're giving you the answers in the live comments.
Yeah, I see the comments, by the way. People in the
No,
comments.
I'm psychic.
Yeah, yeah, it's no fun if you help her. All right. So here's the next thing, right?
Are we still on me?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to the guys. Claude, I'm going to pick on you first. Who's this? Who is this a picture of?
Oh, he's Wimbledon with Bjorn Borg and John McEnroe.
So
Final.
we got Bjorn Borg. Bjorn Borg. Now you get it, right? Like it's completely shit questions. Bjorn Borg against John McEnroe and Jamie. I'm going to give you one chance. Which year did Bjorn Borg win his first Wimbledon title?
Oh God. I'm gonna go with 1982.
No, little 1970 something.
Really? Even further back, 78?
76, 1976.
Ah,
Yeah, Jeff says 1923.
I was 4.
All right, so you get the hang of the game. Okay, here we go again, Carrie Ann. We're on with our next one. Okay.
Right.
All right, this character, Star Trek or Star Wars?
That looks very Star Trek to me.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann, you are 2 for 2. Beep, beep. All right, Carrie Ann, do you have any idea what this character is called? What race is this character?
An alien one.
Yes, congratulations. No, that's a deduction of half a fuck all point for cheating. Okay. Jamie, I'm going to go to you.
Okay.
What are they called, these guys?
It's a great question that I don't have the answer to.
All right.
How about he's not a Klingon. He's not. I don't know. That
A lizard person.
no, it's like I don't know.
Claude, help him out.
Cardassian.
The Cardassian.
Oh, the Cardassians, of
These are the
course.
Cardassians, this is what they look like. Now then, a very famous Cardassian.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
By the way, I got this great picture of her. Look at that, right? All right. One for the guys. Here we go. I need you to name me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the back there. Apart from Kim Kardashian, there's 5 in the back there. Can you name me 6 Cardassians and or people associated with that show?
Me or Claude?
Yeah, go on, Jamie. Have a go. What you got?
Chloe, Courtney. Chloe, Courtney. What's the mom's name? I can never remember the mom's name.
Like, I frankly don't give a shit, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yes. The mum?
Yeah, the mom. Let's see. What's his name? Who's Kim's husband? Kanye.
Kanye
West.
There you go. That's cool. Do that.
What about the dad?
Well,
Jenner.
yeah,
Bruce Jenner.
Formerly Bruce Jenner, obviously.
Yeah.
Now Caitlyn. So she sort of had to do that all publicly, which I think must have been pretty crazy. What about the brother? Anybody? Claude, do you know any of these people?
No, Cardassian, yes, but honestly, the name.
Well, I'm so grateful, Claude. You have escaped this bullshit because these people are like super famous, and the reason that they're super famous, and let's be clear about this, the reason they become super famous. Jamie, can you remember how Kim Kardashian actually became famous?
How Kim became famous?
Yeah,
just because she was friends with Paris Hilton? Is that?
And
Richie Lionel's, or what's her name?
And there was a sex tape.
Oh, well, yeah.
And that was the beginning.
I wasn't going to go there, Paul.
So from a sex tape comes like
an accidental sex tape.
Accidental sex tape comes literally. Okay, here we go, Carrie Ann. You're up again.
I'm ready.
All right. Star Trek or Star Wars?
I feel like that's Star Wars because it has wheels.
Golly,
Wow.
she's good.
You are just killing it right now. Your knowledge completely outstrips the two guys here. All right. Jamie, we'll kind of do this one at you first, okay?
Okay.
I want you to give me what this little guy does, by the way. What does this guy do?
Oh, God. He's an Imperial droid. I'm going to go with he's a garbage collector. He's a rolling ashtray.
Close, right? Claude, you got any idea what this guy does in Star Wars?
Yes, I watched in Star Wars into the. I watch it but I don't remember what exactly use.
So he's a vacuum cleaner. So Jamie, because we're kind of going with the American version of this, Jamie, I need 3 makes of vacuum cleaner.
We'll go Kirby, Eureka, and more.
Kirby, Eureka, and
Kenmore.
Wow, incredible. Claude, what's the favored vacuum cleaner over there in Italy where you're at? What's the most popular make of vacuum cleaner?
Geberit.
All right, excellent. So, you learned something today, guys. If you ever need a really good Italian vacuum cleaner, go get that. All right, here we go.
Sounded very German.
No, Stoggy, I'm 4 out of 4. I see this comment says 3 out of 4. No, I've gotten all the Star Trek versus Star Wars right. I just haven't gotten.
Yes.
Yeah, she's on it right now. In fact, I believe we were only on the 3rd one anyway. So here we go. All right, here we go. Carrie Ann, Star Trek or Star Wars?
Okay. I'm not. This is my thought process. Is that looks like a bridge, which looks like Star Trek, but I don't think there are robots in Star Trek, or droids. So I'm gonna say Star Wars only because it's a robot thing.
You're going with Star Wars? Well, I'm afraid to say, Jamie, that you are wrong. It is in fact Star Wars.
Oh, I thought you said Star Trek. I'm sorry.
Star Wars.
No, I apologize.
Yeah.
All right. Now it is. So we're going to go with something that's kind of a little bit different here. Here we go.
That's actually from Solo.
I think it is from Solo, yeah. I'm not sure. I think it was from Solo, that one. Anyway, Claude, can you give me the 3 laws of robotics?
Ooh. I'm so glad it's on you, Claude.
Thank you, Jamie, for your help. Great help.
Yeah.
I will remember you next time.
No luck? The 3 laws of robotics, no luck? You're looking on the internet, aren't you? You're not allowed to look on the internet. Okay, Jamie, do you have any idea?
No, I would say stuff like do no harm.
Oh,
no killing, and help humanity.
That's the 10 commandments, Jamie.
Oh, my bad.
You actually got 2 of them. So the first one is that a robot cannot harm a human being even through inaction, right? It can't allow a human being to come to harm. The second one is the robot must obey orders given to it by human beings unless those orders conflict with killing somebody or hurting somebody. And the 3rd law of robotics is that a robot must protect its own existence as long as it doesn't conflict with the 1st or the 2nd laws.
Oh, okay.
And just your starter for 10. Does anybody know who actually thought of those original 3 laws of robotics? Just because
Roboto.
Who is it, Karen?
That's what Mr. Roboto.
Mr. Roboto did think of those. Well done. Deduction of another half a point of fuck all for you for being
With Isaac Asimov.
Yes, it was Isaac Asimov. You get a fuck all point.
Yahoo!
Well done. Okay.
That makes up for my Kardashian nightmare.
It frankly doesn't make up for your Kardashian. All right, carry on. Moving along. This is fun. It's fun for you, possibly not for you. Star Trek or Star Wars?
That's Star Trek.
Okay. Well, wow.
Hang on.
You can tell by her shirt.
Race. Claude, what race is this? What race of aliens?
Oh, God.
The fast ones.
This was in Deep Space Nine.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine.
They're a challenge, these guys. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Well, any luck, Jamie? Got it?
No.
It's Bajoran. Bajoran. And you're not going to know the name of the actress who plays her, I guess?
No.
No. Okay. None of
But
it.
But according to
Looking
according
as
to-
gorgeous as ever.
Lisa says she's Kira. So
Kira,
I'm going to steal that answer.
She is Kira, but it's none of Vista. So there she is, looking amazing still. Here we go. All right, carry on. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars, I recognize the head things.
Yeah. Now, this is going to be a really hard one for everybody. Anyone can answer this. What race is... Oh, well, first of all, there is actually a name for this character. I kid you not. No chance. You guys are never going to know this.
He looks like a mutation of Jar Jar Binks.
It does. All right, question. Claude or Jamie? Who does he work for?
Jabba the Hutt.
Well done. His name is Bib Fortuna. They all have bloody names.
Oh, I did know Bib Fortuna. I knew that.
I love that you said that like you knew him personally.
And what race of people is this character?
Not a
Diplomatic.
chance.
Slug
No,
people.
no. It's a good try, but it's Twi'lek. Yes.
Same thing.
Wow.
Translation.
Lissa.
Lissa's on it.
Lissa's on it. Yes, absolutely. I think we need to get Lissa in on the stream because this is fun. So I'm gonna try to see if I can do this. So I may or may not be able to do this, Lissa. Stand by because we'll get you in on the stream if I can. Which, you know, frankly, the chances are I probably won't be in on it. Let's see. No chance. Not that good. Let's see. Aha, here's the link. Here we
Are you
go.
looking at a magic 8-ball, Paul? It sounds like you're like, odds are favorable. Yeah.
So Stogie, I'm sending you the link. And I think if you can send the link, Stogie, that would be really good. In the meantime, we move on. Okay, here we go. This character, Carrie Ann, Star Trek, Star Wars.
That looks very Star Trek to me.
Wow, you're just like 100. You liar. You told me you didn't know any of this stuff, and look at you, right? All right, now, question. What race is this character?
He's not a Klingon because they're not that color. I don't algae person. I don't know.
Okay.
Algae person.
Let's throw this out. The algae person to Claude and Jamie. Which species of alien is this alien?
Wow, I have no clue.
I'm gonna cry.
And
I have no idea.
This is the new version of them, by the way. They've been a bit different in the past. No luck, Claude?
Klingon? No.
No, not Klingon.
Oh, is it the blue guy with the antenna in the older
Right.
in the old
He's got
show?
a big long antenna now.
Yeah,
Wait, look-
yeah.
Andorian.
You cheated, Claude. You're a cheater.
Claude gets a point of fuck all. Jamie, you get half deducted for accusing Claude of cheating. Right? Andorian. Okay. Moving on. This is the beautiful country of Andorra. Situated between which two countries? Don't you dare go look it up. Right? You're not allowed to cheat on Wikipedia or whatever. Which two countries is Andorra between? Jamie, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a fail. I'm going to say
Listen.
Andorra is between. Let's go with
Roxy.
Italy and France.
Not bad. Not bad. Anybody else want to offer anything?
Are they real countries or are they made up?
Andorra is a real.
Andorra is real.
Spain.
United States of America, well represented there by
Navarre. I don't know. I'm just naming things now.
Yeah, you were close. Okay, France is one of the countries, Jamie.
Is that on the Iberian Peninsula?
Spain.
Yeah, it's Spain. The answer is Spain. Well done.
Okay.
It's Spain, right? Hi, Lissa. You're joining us now. Can you hear us?
Hello. I can.
All right. So it's great to have Lissa on board. Lissa's going to help us all out in the end. We hope.
She's a ringer. She's a ringer.
Just joining us to have fun. All right. Here we go. Carrie Ann?
Yes.
Star Trek?
Wow.
Star Wars?
Good heavens. That has to be Star Trek.
Wow. Like, what is going on here?
The color scheme in the back, it looks like the bridge.
Yeah.
It's kind of old. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Claude,
I know the aesthetics of both, but nothing else.
which species is this, Claude?
Alors, is in a return to Babel. My God, is a confrontation with Sarek, but the problem, the race is my God.
Where is eyes? Why doesn't he have eyes? Or is it just
Episode of TOS season 2. My God.
So Claude's.
Wow.
Do you
I
have
actually don't know this species.
any
What?
I know.
Miss Maximus.
It's an evolution of the pork.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Oh, crap. It's on Enterprise, too. Oh.
Is my God.
Really though, is that just a bad mask? Like look at his eyes.
Yeah. It's all right. It's a Tellarite. Yes.
Tellarite.
I'm like, I know that.
It's a Tellarite. It's probably an early version of the Tellarites, which is really cool. And Claude, I forgot to mention, by the way, that I am also sitting with this is Claudius. This is Claude, my cat. So he just hangs when we do these. All right, Tellarite. Can anybody tell me on this stream what is Tellarite? Don't look it up.
The opposite of tele left.
You know, it is possible to be deducted 1.5 points. You've just been deducted.
Wrong?
Yes, Jamie again, 1.5 points. Now Claude's in the lead by a mile. What is Tellarite? Anybody?
Fuck all.
No. Tellarite. No one?
Mm-mm.
Do you mean
Right,
like in
Tellarite.
real life or?
Yeah, in real life, what's Tellarite? Don't look it up on the internet.
It's a mineral.
Yeah, it's a mineral. It's a crystal of some kind. Okay. All right, moving along. Carrie Ann, you get to start everybody off.
All right.
There's Tellarite, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
There's Tellarite. Okay, Carrie Ann. Star Trek, Star Wars.
That's Star Trek.
Yeah, you recognize that one. Carrie Ann's just winning all of these. You lied to me, Carrie Ann. You knew these people. Let's go, Claude. Which species is this?
It's Quark in Deep Space Nine. My God, all the time the race is terrible for me.
Jamie, do you want to?
Ferengi.
Yes.
Ferengi. And what do they do? Listen,
Ferengi. Right?
what
Yes.
do Ferengis do?
Ferengis are traders. Well, kind of. I say traders very loosely because they tend to do business very shadily.
Kind of like smugglers.
So basically, the Ferengi are literally the Star Trek version of my family. They're a bunch of pikers, and they rip everyone off, which is great, right? Now then, Claude actually gets a fuck all point for this. Claude, his name in the series is? What's
Deep
the
Space
character's name?
Nine.
What's the character's name?
Quark.
Quark. Okay.
How do you get him off?
Quark?
Yeah.
Don't know.
You rub his ears.
Ew.
Mhm.
Oh.
You massage his ears.
Wow.
Right,
They're
right.
called umoks.
Ah! I'm leaving.
Carrie Ann is having a crisis over there. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So
Please make it
then-
go away.
next question, which I love, right? What is a quark? Anybody?
A
Oh.
quark
Ooh,
is a physics term.
Yes,
It's-
it's a
Yeah.
quantum physics thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a micro particle.
Velocity.
It is a fundamental building block particle, right?
Yes.
And it builds what?
Molecules. I don't know.
It's
Quark
probably-
is a.
It's
did-
kind of
protons?
it builds hadrons actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
At this point, if you were to do this with me, I would have gotten everything wrong except that. I'm the guy that knows about like subatomic particles and all that crap, right? So, all right,
Atomic.
we are moving
How
on.
how many different kinds of quarks are there, Paul?
Lots of them actually.
Four.
Yes.
There's 3D quarks and all kinds of stuff. This, by the way, is an artist's rendition of a quark. Why? Because they're only a theoretical particle. So
Yep.
what can you do? Carrie Ann.
Ah, that's
Star
Star
Trek.
Wars. Yeah,
Star
Star Wars.
Wars.
Those are Ewoks.
Yay!
Ewoks. Well done. Now, I'm going to put this to everybody. There is actually a very interesting backstory about Ewoks. There's kind of like a little bit of trivia that everyone, if you hear it, you go, huh. And having worked, and I'm going to give you this as a clue. I worked in licensing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for years. And so we understand about like character licensing and selling, right? So what is the licensing / toy sales trivia about the Ewoks?
That they were supposed to look like teddy bears so kids would want them.
Well, that was obvious. He literally, there was no point in them being, but he made them that way anyway. What's the trivia part of that? What's the secret behind the Ewoks?
They're mutated Care Bears.
No, anybody? They are. True.
Oh, I know this one. As soon as you say it, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I'm an idiot.
Time is ticking.
I remember
got
they
nothing.
weren't originally supposed to be in the movie, but like they literally just for marketing purposes. So kids, because the movie did have so many dark elements to it, they added the Ewoks in because
'Cause they're
they
so
wanted to
cute.
make it more lighthearted.
They're a little terrifying looking now, but yeah.
These are all true, but there's actually a crazy secret to the Ewoks.
Teddy Ruxpin. They look too much like Teddy Ruxpin.
It's true. They do, right? But here's of it, right? The Ewoks are never referred to as Ewoks in the film. The only reason,
You're right.
Oh.
the only reason you know they're called Ewoks is everything after the film, because it was a bloody licensing play. It was literally a gratuitous merchandising play. They're never called Ewoks in the movie.
That's true.
Wow.
It's only because the Ewok adventure stuff that happened afterwards that we even know what they're called.
Yeah. Hey, PJ, how you doing? It's good to have PJ along. We're having fun over here. We're doing crazy stuff. All right, Ewoks. Here we go with a difficult one. Here we go. Carrie Ann, you may fail on this. I'm telling you right now. Where's this one from?
Oh, that's Star Trek.
Yeah, because I put the insignia and I realized that. Oh, well, never mind. All
But
right.
I recognize the bridge. It looks like a bridge.
I'm
Behind-
only going to give you a point if you can tell me which Star Trek series this one is from.
New Generation.
New Generation, no such thing.
Hard. I don't know. I'm just naming things.
I know it.
All right, let's help him out.
It's Discovery.
Jamie or Claude, do you know the name of the character?
I was going to say 7 of 6 or 5 of 6,
Oh, I
but
should've
that's
done-
not right.
Should have done 7 and 9.
Discovery, yes. But
This is Ariam, the cyborg from the
Ariam.
Discovery series. And
she will die, I think.
yeah, Lisa, did you know that her name was Ariam?
I actually have not watched Discovery yet. I just got CBS All Access as the free month.
Yeah.
So I just finished up watching Picard, and my next thing to hit is watching Discovery. So
Yeah,
I did
well-
not know her name.
I'm not a nerd, but so I'm not really fussed either way. And I actually think Star Trek Discovery is pretty good. So, oh well, right? Now everyone's going to be annoyed at me.
Listen, Paul, we're in this together.
All right.
Oh.
Wait a minute. There's
Why
a
do we
reason.
have fuzzy animals?
Oh, okay. What race
Ah,
I have no clue.
of person is this? What race is this?
Jellyfish lady.
Anybody?
jellyfish. I have no clue.
No idea.
No idea.
I can tell
Sebastianite.
you. Wait, she's from the new revamped Star Trek movies, and from the third, right?
Yeah, she is. She's from Star Trek Beyond. I think something. Like that.
Antosian. They can look like whatever they want. So they
She
think
could be an Antosian.
correct.
In fact, Carrie Ann, I'm going to award you 10 fuck all points because you were correct about everyone so far. They were all Antosians because they're all shapeshifters and they can look however they like. Thank you very much. So she is apparently she's a Kalaran. A Kalaran.
Lauren.
That sounds like a mixed drink.
Now then, here we go again. This is the closest I could get. The Kalahari Desert, about as close as I could get, is in which country?
Kalahari is in Africa.
That's a yes.
That's a continent, not a country.
We're getting close.
Oh, which country? I'm sorry. I thought you said. Never mind.
Zimbabwe.
Anybody
Nigeria.
else? Any luck?
I'll say South Africa.
DR Congo.
Wherever
Yes.
Simba lives.
It's Namibia. I might have actually even gotten that one right. Sorry about that. All right, Carrie Ann, we're moving through this now. We're almost getting.
Lord in heaven, what is this?
Pod people.
Star Wars question: Star Trek or Star Wars?
I feel like that just has to be Star Trek.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's from Beyond, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Lisa, any luck? Do you know who this
Did
is?
I lose connection?
No, you're still there. We
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. Which race is this? Anybody?
They look like the
No.
crash test dummies.
They do,
Well
don't they?
played.
They do. Another point. Like Carrie Ann's kicking ass now because she just got another point. So lots of fuck all points for Carrie Ann. These guys are apparently called the Nibirians, right? The Nibirians. So all I've got on this is, can you tell me which country is this?
Oh, Jesus.
From stock photos, by the way, which I love.
I'll say Namibia.
Not bad. Close.
Oh. Cote d'Ivoire?
Nope. Remember, the other ones were Niberians.
Nigeria.
Not bad, but close, but not quite. Claude, you got
Not
one last chance to redeem it. It is Liberia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Liberia. Okay. This is
Sorry.
so pointless. Okay, Carrie Ann.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Holland.
Star Trek or Star Wars, Carrie Ann?
Okay, this one is this. I'm gonna say my instinct is Star Trek.
Ah, you finally it's Star Wars.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh man, yeah, it was hard. It's hard. That one's really hard to tell because it looks like it could be either one.
No, it is Star Wars. Anybody know the name of this character?
Admiral Akbar.
Yep.
Admiral
And he
Akbar.
is Mon Calamari, if I remember correctly.
Calamari.
Species.
Okay, well done. You guys are doing really well. Now then,
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
all I had on Akbar was the phrase Allahu Akbar.
Yep.
Right? What does that mean?
Ugh. Peace go with you.
Yeah, like God be with you. Some
God-
because Allah,
Close.
Allah.
God is big.
Yeah,
God
it is great. Well done. Claude,
great.
Claude is great. Claude gets 5 fuck all points for that. Claude's actually climbing back into the race now.
Nice.
And here we come with our last. I love this. Our last character.
That is neither one. I know what that is. They call it like a sea bear or something. It's like a dust, not a dust mite. It's something.
It's called a tardigrade.
Yes.
It is a tardigrade. And it is from, Carrie Ann, Star Trek or Star Wars?
I was gonna say Dune. It looks like a garbage.
Spice must flow.
Come
on.
It's Star Wars.
Okay, Carrie Ann, I'm afraid with the last two, you have now deducted 5 fuck all points, and now you're tied with Claude. So we
Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
Wow,
Here
nice.
is the tardigrade, right? That one's like asleep, so we'll go back to this one. I would like you to give me one almost verifiable fact about tardigrades. Anybody that can tell me a somewhat true thing about a tardigrade will win this section.
It's a microscopic organism.
I was going to say they're microscopic.
Yeah, they've actually been studying them in space because they're pretty much like invincible. Like they pretty much are able to live through anything.
They can, according to Smithsonian Magazine, right, they can survive radiation, boiling liquids, massive amounts of pressure, so they can be in the deepest part of the ocean. They could survive potentially maybe 10 days at low Earth orbit, being exposed to the vacuum of space and still survive.
So roaches and these guys are going to eventually rule the planet. Is that what you're saying?
What will happen in the end is there'll be cockroaches, right? And there'll be tardigrades, and there'll be yoo-hoos and ho-hos and ding-dongs. Those will survive. And McDonald's burgers as well. Those are all the things that will survive, right? So I'm going to go out on a limb and hand the winner of this particular little trivia thing. I think we have to give it to Claude.
All right.
Claude came through near the end. I think when you finish, well, you know, you do that. All right, so we're finished with that stupid.
Paul, I give my win to Carrie because she was in difficulty.
Yeah. Well, she was doing so well, and then she disgraced herself near the end, and you know, I feel kind of bad about that. But okay, Carrie Ann, you get to win.
Yay!
So, all right. So near the end of what we do, every time that I do this, I love sharing a couple of ideas with people because we're all across the world and everybody has a difficult kind of time right now. You know, I know everyone's dealing with isolation and quarantines. And Claude, I know that specifically it's been very difficult in Italy where you are. It's also getting quite difficult here in the United States. It's going to be pretty rough. But these are times that we get to relax and we get to connect with people. And one of the things that I've been doing with everyone is asking them, just for the sake of the rest of the audience, first things first, right? Claude, name me one film that you know that most people don't know that you think everybody should see. Like, what's a beautiful film that you love that other people don't know about so that they can go watch it on Netflix or Amazon? And I'll start you, by the way. Mine, I tell everyone, is a movie with John Cusack. It's called Max. And if you've never seen it, go watch it. It's about Adolf Hitler returning from the First World War and being ready to become who he really is. But he is befriended by a Jewish art dealer. And at this point, you realize he could go either way. And we know which way he goes, but it's a really compelling story. So which movie do you have, Claude?
The Shadow Army.
The Shadow Army.
Jean-Pierre Melville.
All right. Excellent. I love this. The Shadow Army. Carrie Ann?
I don't know how obscure this is, but I feel like it's a lesser known film made by this filmmaker. I am probably in the minority, but I love Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water.
Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan's Lady in the Water. Because when I saw that in the theater, I've always felt a little strange in the world. And there's this beautiful thing in the beginning, this whole animated opening thing about man being disconnected from spirit and all that kind of stuff. And so I bawled my way through that entire movie because it's about a girl named Story who's from somewhere else that doesn't know how to get home. And there's this whole team of unlikely heroes that comes together to solve this problem. And it's a fairy tale. It was marketed wrong. So I think that's why it didn't land.
Oh, By the way, Jeff, I saw Jeff wrote Memento. Memento is one of my top 5 films, Jeff. It's literally one of the best films that I know, but I don't think it's that obscure. I think people know Memento. But that's good, Karen. That's a really good one. I want to give you an M. Night Shyamalan story because I've always got something. When M. Night Shyamalan had done, he did The Sixth Sense and he got really popular. And then the next one that he did was the one with Bruce Willis where he's indestructible.
Oh, Unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Oh, yeah.
So M. Night Shyamalan, it turns out, and I was told this by the people from Golden Apple, is a big fan of mine. He likes comics. And
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I wrote a book called The Sentry, which is about a guy that had lost his memory and didn't know he was a superhero. See if you can catch on to this theme for a second. He didn't know he was a superhero, and he comes back. In M. Night Shyamalan's film Unbreakable, the main character is called Sentryman. Like literally the comic book character on the wall is called Sentryman. So let me ask you a question. Where do you think M. Night Shyamalan got the idea for his film from?
I wonder.
If it could be any more obvious when you freeze frame the bit where Samuel L. Jackson walks into his comic store and there's a comic book rack right in front of it. If you freeze frame it right there, all of the comics on that rack are either belong to me or Brian Bendis. So
Wow, really?
I know where M. Night Shyamalan got the idea for that film.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
It's literally the story of the century.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, Lissa, what have you got for a favorite film?
One that I don't think a lot of people know about is actually the film that my parents named me after the princess in. It's called Krull. It's a 1980s sci-fi fantasy.
Yes. Krull. We know that one. Krull, actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Jamie.
I'm going to go with, to stick kind of with the family thing, Max Dugan's Returns. Old school, Jason Robards, Matthew Broderick. Matthew Broderick's grandfather comes. He's a criminal, and he's paid his dues in jail, and he just wants to spend some money on his grandson. Real heartwarming kind of family kind of thing. It's got a lot of sweet moments. It's a lot of fun. It's a good movie.
And when
old school.
When was it again?
I want to say early 80s it came out.
Okay. Brilliant.
Max Dugan's Returns.
Okay. Max Dugan's Returns. All right. So I'm going to show you. I'm looking at. Okay. So next thing that we go to, which I love doing, is I love sharing with people my favorite. And I'm going to show you this in 1 second. My favorite apps. Right now, my favorite app is a little app called Monument Valley.
Oh, I love Monument Valley. It's my favorite game.
Oh.
Monument Valley. So what I do is I love it when we can turn each other on to really, really good ideas because we're sharing ideas and we're connecting with each other. Let me just show you a little bit of the gameplay of Monument Valley. You can see it's a perspective game.
It's so soothing.
It is. It's so beautiful.
Oh, my favorite. I was playing this yesterday, literally.
So you use perspective to get around the game. It's so brilliant. And so you move things with perspective, right? There's actually another game, Carrie Ann, if you like that. It's called Superliminal. It's actually a kind of a PC game, and it uses perspectives to change the way that the world works. So if you feel like sitting around a computer, play the game Superliminal.
Will it work on a Mac?
I tell you, say again?
Will it work on a Mac?
Yes, it will work on a Mac, I believe. And in fact, if you like, guys, why don't I do this? Let me show you the trailer for Superliminal, because then you guys will get to see it. Hold on 1 second.
Monument Valley, while you're saying that, Monument Valley, after my mom died, I had a really hard time calming my mind. But Monument Valley is what I played to like center myself.
Wow. Okay.
And there's a second one too. There's Monument Valley 2 also.
So I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you guys are looking at Superliminal. Perfect. Okay. So let's just kind of go here. This is Superliminal.
My name is Dr. Glenn Pierce.
Stand by for analysis.
Your life will always be a struggle. Isn't that why you came here?
I do not care. Patient requires somnasculpt therapy.
I do not like this.
At the Pierce Institute, our patent-pending Somnosculpt technology provides safe and effective dream therapy while you rest in the comforts of our flagship clinic.
Oh God.
You have deviated from the orientation pathway. You will rectify this failure immediately.
Patients who are lost may find that the mind creates slight physical obstructions to prevent them from finding the way back to the proper therapeutic path.
Please exit this dream as soon as possible.
Seems like it would be a horror film.
Nope, do not like. Take me
Do
back
not
to
like?
Monument Valley.
Okay, well, I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, so let's
But
go
with 3D Studio.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Claude, what app do you have that you're using that everybody should know about?
Pardon me, I don't hear you.
Which phone app do you have? Like an app for your phone that you use that everybody should know? Which is your favorite app?
I have this normally WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay, because I'm with you. I've been connecting with all of my family. We all talk on WhatsApp, and so it's actually brilliant because we're all around the world. So WhatsApp is a good one. Carrie Ann, what have you got?
Really nothing, because I would have said Monument Valley probably. So instead of Monument Valley, I give you Weather Kittens.
Oh yes, I love Weather Kittens.
So all of my when I get the weather, it's a different here, hang on. It's a different little kitty every day.
Lovely.
So and I can change the themes. Like right now it's springtime. You can change it to any, like, what are the themes here? Hold on. We have outdoorsy. Let's see what the outdoorsy cat looks like. Come on. Oh, outdoorsy cat. Look at him.
There you go. See, so Weather Kittens is something that everybody needs to know about.
It makes you happy. Like if you're upset because there's too much pollen outside or there's too much corona around, when you open that weather app and you see the little kitty faces, you're gonna feel better.
Yeah, and by the way, as a terrible allergy sufferer, I wake up every day and I'm like, do I have coronavirus or do I have
corona?
I know, right?
It's so bad right now.
It's so
that's your podcast now, Kitties and Corona.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of having coronavirus, Jamie, what's going on? Because I think you think that your family's got going on, right?
I'm pretty sure my wife has it 100%. I have bad allergies and asthma, and I know I had bronchitis. So, and then my daughter, my 18-month-old, had a 103-degree fever last night, and we took her to see the doctor this morning, and he can't say that she doesn't have it, but he can't because she didn't test for the regular flu or strep. So those were negative. So she's either got an adenovirus or a coronavirus. So
the national shame of this country right now, like the tragedy and the national shame of this country,
we can't get tested.
We cannot get tested.
No, I can confirm this. My boyfriend had a 105-degree fever, and he has now been confirmed as having been exposed to it because someone on the crew he was working on tested positive. So he got an email from Disney saying, "Oh yeah, someone on the crew was positive. So just be careful."
The end net game of that whole thing is that there's not a whole lot that we can do anyway.
Oh yeah.
We don't want to flood the hospitals with what we can treat at home as best as we can. Because I'm a high risk, we'll just kind of monitor my breathing and make sure that I don't get kind of pneumonia-like symptoms. But other than that, we just kind of have to make sure that nobody comes over. I have 2 older kids, and I've got to isolate from them. Like we said earlier, my grandfather died. I can't go hang out with my mom to comfort her, and that really hurts. But we try to. This kind of situation really kind of helps us connect. I told my son, who's 14, yesterday. I said, go to sleep at a regular time. Get up, get dressed, get into a schedule. Don't let yourself get in this I'm at home, I'm in bed kind of deal. You have to keep moving. You have to keep taking steps. Yeah. And my wife and I are fortunate that we both can work from home. So economically, I think we're okay. I do a lot of audiobook narration, and she does a lot of telemental health stuff. So we're going to be fine, but it's really hard. The human aspect of it is hard. One of the cool things about it, though, is in my neighborhood, we have never seen more neighbors as we have now. Because everybody's home, they're getting out and they're walking. Yeah. And while we're keeping 6 feet away, we're talking to more people now than we ever have before, which is pretty crazy.
I think,
Even the pollen count is like 75.
You know what I think? Though? I think that's the ticket. This is what keeps me like feeling okay. I think that this is our path to a kinder world for each other and for the planet. I think that I think we're in a cosmic timeout right now.
Yeah.
Because we've just been big jerks to each other and to the planet, and we need to stop and listen to ourselves and each other and take better care of everyone and take better care of our planet. And I think that we're moving in that direction, but we got to slog through some stuff first. And that's what keeps me like.
Claude, I'm going to bring you in 1 second, Claude, 'cause I know you wanted to say something. One thing I'll say, Carrie Ann, this is why you and I get along so well, because this is how I've been explaining it to people. This is a speed bump. The world was opening. It closed down for a second. But that's a natural reaction to things. Sometimes, you open it up, people fear change, they get worried. We have to look at climate change issues, and we have to look, it's nothing to do with politics. And again, I don't do politics on this thing. I don't care for it. And growing up the way that I did as a punk, like, I can't stand politics. I can't stand any of the politicians, none of them, right? It's a pikey scam. It's literally a self-enrichment scam. Wake up. In the meantime, our planet is hurting. And I think that you look at this situation, it's very difficult. And maybe, just maybe, this is a reset for us. It's, hey, wake up. Hey, you hurt yourself. Hey, you need to look at science. Hey, you need to accept these kind of things. But what's so amazing about this is we're talking to somebody in Italy right now that we've never met before. We are all sharing our experiences. We're talking about our families. We're talking to neighbors, like Jamie says. I chatted to friends of mine in Australia at midnight last night. Claude was on the stream early in the morning for him. We chatted with friends, and so I want to go back to 9/12, the day after 9/11. I want us to remember that we're all in this together. And if we can just do that and realize that we're all in this together, we'll get through this. We'll get through it. And when we come out the other side, it's going to be awesome, because we're going to be more connected. We're going to be more ready to be connected. And hopefully we'll look at each other and realize, forget the politics now. Stop it. We're all in the same thing together. There's my little diatribe. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. It was part of my diatribe too.
I mean, like, I'm seeing a lot of people starting to come together because of this, and I think that's a good thing. Like, you can go to the fast food restaurant and, like, they're fighting, like, hopeful messages on the bag to just keep everyone's spirits up too. Yeah.
And Claude, go ahead. Say, you were going to say.
Yes. The only one positive aspect of the coronavirus now is, I think we have a before and we will have an after, because I think people will change, because this situation is very cross, vertical, horizontal, all the countries. I think that this experience will change people.
Yes.
Because now internet connected the people, okay, but now the virus connected the world. And now we have internet, more potential internet. We speak together about solution. I give you another example. Some friends in LA, I contacted custom designer friends in LA or in New York just to make masks at home. Yeah. With my friend Angela Vino, we had people that we had, eat that. Vitamin D is very good to fight coronavirus. To make masks, you must do that. More connection, more. And you have right, Paul, because politics is enough. Honestly, now we must resolve the problem. This is the important thing. We can speak after of all, but now the problem is, and we must resolve. Stop. The rest we will see after.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I couldn't be more serious. I grew up in the punk era, right? And like everything about punk rock was like, fuck off. I can't take this stupid politics. I'm not going to listen to it. I don't want to listen to Margaret Thatcher. I don't want to listen to whoever the other guy is. I don't want to hear it, because it's never for people. It's always about like self-enrichment. Now, anyone that knows me knows that I actually chaired an advisory committee on the film and digital interactive for the governor of Georgia. And when he asked me to do it, I said, yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't have told you if he was a Republican or Democrat because I didn't care, right? It was, can I do something for, my community, right? So I think that this one thing will change. I hope this changes people's anger. Now, when I see it, I still see people posting on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all this stuff like, well, Clinton did this and Trump did this. Who cares? They're all the same people, okay? They're terrible, terrible people. And some of them are more terrible than others, right? They're horrible people. Well, they are, right? Some of them more, but there's no sense in really getting into it. Which one is the worst? Who cares? What you need to do is to remember that we're all people and that we need to start coming together. And that's my big thing from this is we're going to. And this is what this is all about, this chat, right?
There's this meme that you guys can't see, but I want to read it to you because I think if you haven't seen it on my page, that it'll make you guys, it made me cry when I read it. And I think it's really lovely. It says, and then the whole world walked inside and shut their doors and said, we will stop it all, everything to protect our weaker ones, our sicker ones, our older ones. And nothing in the history of humankind ever felt more like love than this.
Yeah. We're gonna flatten the curve. And there was a comment a little while ago in the chat, right? Fogbank says, let's remember the people who do the actual work to keep things running. So that's not just the doctors, right? And the doctors and nurses.
Grocery store workers. Yeah.
People who are delivering stuff, people doing Amazon, people who are working in stores and stocking shelves and all of that. Like we're all in this together, right? And they're really helpful. So there you go. There's a great positive way of ending it. Wow. Look, we're changing the world. All right. So that's it, I think, for today. And I'm really grateful that you guys came and had a chat. All we're doing is talking. Brilliant times. Claude, Carrie-Anne, Lisa, Jamie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And
thanks,
for
guys.
having me.
we end with social distancing. There you go. There you go.
Live long and prosper.
All doing it. Live long and prosper, guys.
Live long and prosper, everyone.
See you again. Bye-bye.
Love.